eXp here in Nevada. I actually put a shout out. Did some of you guys take me up on my invite? If you're from a different state, pop it into the public chat. What city and state are you in? I would love to hear. And you can turn on your mics and say good morning. I love to have a little hello in the morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, George. How are you?
Good. I live in Montana now.
Oh, fantastic. Montana, 1883, one of my favorite TV shows.
Outstanding. Yeah, right near us.
Oh my gosh. And of course, Yellowstone, that's a great show too.
Absolutely.
Good gosh, if I could have binge watched it, I would have. I was watching before we get started, I was watching this morning as a former performer on the Las Vegas Strip and a former actor. I was watching like a mastermind roundtable of fantastic actors like G.K. Rawlings, is that his last name? And then Jeff Daniels. And then they had the round table of comedians like Henry Winkler and Jim Carrey and Don Cheadle and just various, and the guy from Borat, what's his name? Help me out. Help me out. Who's the Borat actor? Anybody? Anybody? We should have a quiz show going on right now.
Something.
Sacha Baron Cohen, yes. And what I gleaned from that is, quite frankly, when it comes to doing real estate, it's a lot like an audition. Wouldn't you agree? If anybody's ever auditioned for plays or any kind of shows, I feel the same way sometimes when I'm going into a listing appointment that I feel when I was an actor. Because why? There's definitely rejection in this business. And when it comes to getting the role, well, most of the time, the person that's right for the role gets it. And in this real estate business, the person that's the most, well, you don't necessarily have to be the most experienced, but you have to be the most trustworthy. And you have to be the person that gives the seller confidence that you're the man or the woman for the job. Otherwise, it's like an audition. And you know what? Sometimes, quite frankly, it's the same way in the entertainment business. Sometimes there's a little bit of nepotism, you know. Sometimes the best friend, who's a valet parker at the Wynn, ends up getting the listing that has no business getting the listing just because he knew the seller. And sometimes, obviously, it's the opposite. Sometimes, have you guys experienced this, where your best friend or your family member doesn't want to list with you because they don't want to ruin the friendship or the family relationship? Have you guys ever experienced that? Put that into the public chat if you have. Anybody?
I have. Well,
Have you, George? Yes. And at the end of the day, after 24 years in real estate and 1,500 sales later, at the very beginning, I really let it bug me at the beginning. But if I can imbue any knowledge to you guys this morning before we get into our special guest, I would say the word that you want to use is next, next, next. Because at the end of the day, that's what you have to focus on. What's next? There's going to be something around the corner as far as your business is concerned. And if you just put yourself out there, the other thing that I've gleaned is that you got to go for a bunch of no's to get a yes. And the cool thing about what we're going to share today is getting more yeses by attraction as opposed to chasing. When it comes to doing social media, when it comes to putting yourself out there on video, all of that is basically creating an atmosphere of attraction. Because I got to tell you, I would much rather get somebody to contact me off of a social media post as opposed to pounding the phones of expireds, FISBOs for rent by owners, distress sales. It's so much more fun to get a listing as a result of attraction when it comes to you putting yourself out there, being the knowledgeable agent that you are, and sharing that with the world. And that being said, I want to introduce Miss Samantha Purea. Samantha, is your mic on? How are you?
I'm good, Paul. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. And I thank you for being my guest today.
Of course, of course.
So, Samantha, why don't you do me a favor? Because you and I met, what was it, a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Samantha, you've been with eXp for how long?
A little over a month now.
A little over a month. And tell us about your previous background, your real estate background, and or what you've done in your career prior to joining us at eXp.
So I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio, where my husband and I owned a home security company for about 20 years. So we worked installing and securing homes and commercial applications with alarm systems.
What city and state was that?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, fantastic. I love Cleveland. I went there when I was a performer. It was fun. The mall, they had just opened it.
Which mall?
I don't know. It was by some water. It's been way too long, but we had a good time. It was downtown Cleveland, a brand new mall, probably before you were born, Samantha.
I don't know about that, Paul.
Oh my gosh. And continue. So the journey brought you to Las Vegas. Give me the in between from Cleveland as a security company owner and sales. Continue.
So while doing, excuse me, I got a frog today. While doing security, I decided to get into photography and graphic design, which led me to doing wedding photography. And then I was like, well, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I might as well do real estate. So I got my license in Ohio. I joined
Gotcha.
Century 21 in Cleveland. They were a good place to be. I have no problems with them, but we decided we were moving here. And to be honest with you, nothing against eXp now, but I was a little hesitant to join. So I went to another brokerage. 2 years later, I'm here. And I'm happy to be with all you guys and show you some of the things I've learned along the way for basic entry level social media, how to set up your accounts, some little tricks that make you stand out a little bit, and maybe bring in some leads too.
Fantastic. Like I said, I met Samantha, it was a couple of weeks ago, and she'd been with us a couple of weeks before that. And she shared with me her website. And I was like, wow, where did you get this cool website? And you'll have to share that or pop it into the public chat so everybody can see it there, Samantha. And I'll create my screen share screen on the stage right, house left, so everybody can see your website while you're showing your PowerPoint presentation. Um, but I was so impressed by it, and you created it from scratch, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Fantastic. So there it is, you guys. I'm going to pop it onto the screen. You can click it and save it as a favorite and kind of, you know, what is it? Emulation or is the best form of flattery. I tell everybody as far as my websites and some of the things that I do, hey, steal it. Steal the verbiage, steal the language, make it your own as far as
Well, we're
that's
actually going to
concerned.
pick on you a little bit here today, Paul.
I know you are,
There's
and
a
I'll be prepared
sample.
for that. Absolutely. Because the one thing about my websites, you guys, and this is why I was so excited to have Samantha with us, is because I know how to create stuff, but I don't know how to track it. B, I don't know how to SEO it. I don't know how to do it. And so that's why we have Samantha, and we might break this up into several segments along the way. But I'm going to go ahead and start my crank wheel, Samantha, and share your site on the other screen. And go ahead and begin as far as presenting to our audience here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys all for having me here today. I do appreciate it. But I want to ask you guys if you can just answer in the chat really quickly. How many of you have all the social medias? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. No Twitter.
And this is very participatory, you guys. Don't be shy. We want to kind of get a gauge of the room and we want to know. And along the way, please, into the public chat, ask questions as far as
Yes,
certain
please.
social media aspects. And I'll monitor the public chat while Samantha's speaking and I'll throw out the questions. So, yes, so we have some yeses all day long. Yes, yes, yes. Friend said you will list my place, and I promise. Well, okay, got it. And then as far as Twitter, everything except Twitter, and seems like everybody has like an Instagram or a Facebook, not necessarily Twitter. How about LinkedIn, you guys? Do you guys have LinkedIn in the public chat? Say yes or no.
LinkedIn is going to be key for your professional level clients that you're going to attract. If you do not have LinkedIn, I suggest you highly sign up for it today, and I will show you quick, easy ways of starting to share that with people. So let's get started. These are your social media platforms. Now, it's plain and simple, guys. You have to talk about your business to have a business. If you are not taking the opportunity to not only in person share what you do and how you do it, you need to do it on social media as well. So the opportunity of, you're making a Facebook post, and this could be on your personal post. Hey, by the way, I was heading out to go show this house over here in Summerlin today, but I found this really great restaurant. You guys should come check it out. You need to make sure that no matter what you're doing, you're reiterating the fact that you have real estate in your blood. You have it in the back of your mind at all times, and people need to understand what you do. Just because you say it every once in a while doesn't mean that they will always remember. It's that constant touch point, guys. So you want to make sure that you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. These are your 6 major feeds to make sure that you have. I don't know why it just went backwards. What is going on here?
I didn't do it. There we go.
I'm blaming you, Paul. Speaking of Paul, here we go.
Oh, that's me. Look at my beautiful kids. And see, that's the first thing I go to. That's when they were babies.
So this is Paul's Instagram page. He's got a great following. He's following plenty of their profiles. But there's his first post there. Do any of you see what he's missing?
The fact that I doubled it accidentally, or
More so than that. More so than that. Nobody sees it. Look at the second image there and tell me what is missing.
the second image.
You're onto
Well,
something there, Angela. Yes.
personal touch. Are we talking about maybe the little bubbles right above my posts? Or I do have a link tree in there. I'm stumped. Anybody?
Hashtags. You're missing the hashtags.
Hashtags. Yes.
Oh, see? Good gosh. I'm missing hashtags, y'all.
Hey, when
So
that happens.
regardless, I'm sorry, go ahead, George.
He said, I hate it when that happens.
So regardless of what you're posting, those hashtags put your audience in front of you. So I'm actually going to challenge you guys this week on whatever social media, and I want you to do this across all of the platforms that you have. I want you to use the hashtag eXp Realty Las Vegas. I want you to do an introduction post. Introduce yourselves. I'm sure it's been a while since you've done it. I want you to make a photograph, a little video, introduce yourself, tell people who you are and why you do what you do. Doesn't need to be anything major, just use that hashtag. But let's go back to Paul's profile here for a minute. You see it's 100% business, except for the one photo of his babies and the one that I cut off of the puppy. You want an even mix.
I know, and they tell me all the time. And you know what? I'm a fun guy. I should be selling some of my fun guyness.
Absolutely, Paul. I mean, people want to see that you are an expert in your community, not just in real estate. They want to know that you know the area, that you understand the dynamics. If you can't, if they will pass this up in a heartbeat. You're not using hashtags to draw in people that are searching just specific hashtags like Las Vegas real estate or the Las Vegas Strip, things like that. These are hashtags that are trending in this area. So you definitely want to keep that up. So I'm going to tell you how to maximize your Instagram here really fast. If you do not have a public dashboard that you can see your analytics, this is what you need to do. You're going to go into your Instagram account and you're going to hit settings. You're going to click on account. From there, you're going to tell it to switch account type. And
Question real quick. Can I do this on my computer or does it need to be done on my phone?
this is something I think you can do on the computer. I have
Okay.
not verified, but I know this was screenshots from my phone, so it was just easier to upload.
I'm going to go live on this screen with my Instagram, and as you're telling me, I'll try to pop around on it. So continue, Samantha.
So on the third image there, you see that it says switch to personal account or a creator account. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, I already have a professional dashboard, so I don't need to switch it back. But that's where it'll say switch to professional.
Okay.
Now this turns on the analytics for you guys. This will help you see how things are working. And it'll break it down a little bit better, as you see here. If you look on the third image there, you'll see where I'm starting to build mine back up from switching to eXp from where I was. So I kind of let my analytics dip down and kind of it just bottomed out for me. But once you switch to your professional dashboard, you're going to have access to these videos, these links that they have available to teach you how to better use it and better utilize it. Help you figure out how to do reels if you don't know how to do the reels. But make sure your profile is what it needs to be. You want your information in there. Who are you? Now, you only have a small amount of characters that you can use. Use those emojis, guys. Those help the analytics. I know it sounds stupid, but it helps the analytics. Make sure that you have your category set as entrepreneur. The reason being is it's going to give you access to trending images, trending music, trending stickers, things of that nature when you're doing your reels. Those trending items will actually help increase your analytics. Now, on the fourth slide there, it'll also show you where you can track your usage, track your interactions. Now, I cannot stress to you enough how important those interactions are. Don't just go on and post your images and post your content. You need to interact with like-minded individuals, like-minded businesses in the area that have strong reach themselves. Get them to interact with you and follow you back. Every interaction that you have, every follow back that you get extends your network. So say, for example, this past weekend, I was at the Tim McGraw concert. I started posting a couple of the videos. I started getting following from some of the restaurants inside of Mandalay. That immediately extended my reach to their following. So any of their followers, when they went to their For You page, would now see my content coming up as well. And I started getting a bunch more following that way. It's all organic, but it helps. Interact. It's you can't stress it enough. It only takes 5-10 minutes to sit there, scroll through. I'm sure you're scrolling through something anyway. Do something that's going to better your business. Now, LinkedIn. Here's a quick tip on LinkedIn. How many of you have LinkedIn on your phones right now?
I do.
Okay, Paul. Well, I'm going to show you this easy way to do it too. I think I have, but I'm going to remind you. I want you guys to open up your LinkedIn profiles on your phones. Let's open up the account.
Okay, on my phone.
on your phone.
Okay.
Now, let's say, for example, you are in a Starbucks and you are out of cards, but you've got a contact that you want to stay connected with. Well, it kind of takes a minute to say, okay, let me get your number and I'll call you later, kind of thing like that. Go to the search bar at the top of your account.
All right. Yep.
Now, at that search bar, you see those four on the right-hand side, there's going to be like a little square with 4 little dots in it.
I'm in my profile on my Facebook, on my phone, and I see a wheel, and I see a compose, and I see a search bar.
Yes, go to the search bar, Paul.
Okay, got it.
All right, tap on the little square on the right-hand side of the search bar.
Okay. Okay, yep.
So now you're going to see something that says my code or scan. It brings up your personal code to your LinkedIn account where you can share that with somebody right then and there.
Okay.
So now the person standing in front of you, they can scan your QR code, takes you right to your profile, and they can add you right then and there, and it's easy to follow up with them in an hour.
Cool.
Or you can scan somebody else's. It's just a nice little LinkedIn trick, and it actually, most people don't know that trick, so you'll become an expert right there. Blows their minds.
I couldn't find that original page on the Instagram on my profile. On the professional dashboard, go up to the settings on the top.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Okay, I kind of lost it from going from the dashboard because I didn't have the same settings. So would you mind just starting from the dashboard? Are you on the professional or the regular?
I'm on professional.
Okay, me too. So where do I go from there to? I apologize.
So as you're going through, and I'll pull this up on my phone as well so I can tell you step by step. All right. So when you open up to your profile on your phone and it says professional dashboard right under your name,
Right.
there should be a little arrow to click over.
And I
Correct.
think Samantha, I don't think my LinkedIn is a professional dashboard. So if it's
LinkedIn
not professional, say again?
LinkedIn should be not an issue with that one. I am not as much of an expert with LinkedIn as the other woman. I don't see her in here today. Oh, what is her name? She usually does your other classes,
Oh,
Paul.
Beth Ellen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beth
Well, we'll
Ellen.
have to have Beth Ellen come in and share. So we'll figure it out, you guys, and we can
So
post it in.
guys,
Yeah.
if you click on your picture, click on your picture, and
Yep.
then it'll say view profile.
Yep.
And then when you see that, it'll bring you to your information, and then it'll say open ad section, and then there's 3 little dots. Click on those 3 little dots, and it'll say
Share profile and
share
message.
profile in a message, share via text, and contact information.
Okay.
Yep, that is the other way to do it. Thank you, Debbie.
Thanks, Miss Kluwer.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Debbie.
I love the collective, you guys. I
And that's
love
the
it.
great thing about it. There's no wrong way of doing this. You just have to make it work for you. Now, who was it that was asking me about getting to their dashboard?
No, I'm at the dashboard. I just wanted to get to that QR code. Showed Paul. I can look at it back on the meeting. I apologize. I just was trying to follow along and I wasn't following along.
Oh, on the LinkedIn is where you were at. Okay, so
Right.
just go to your search bar on your LinkedIn account. Once you get there, there's a little square on the right-hand corner of the search bar. If you tap that, that takes you to your LinkedIn QR code. Find it?
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's actually really easy to find once you know where to look.
You can also click on your picture, and again, it'll do the same thing. if you go to your picture and then, wait a minute, because I just did it. And then it'll let you do your, okay, I have to come back. Because I did it now, I don't know what I did.
And you know what, you guys, I love doing it this way because, you know, just going through slides and just talking about certain things, it's awesome that we have the ability to stop. And it's not like it's a continual presentation. You know, it's always great to have the step-by-step stuff and to stop and, you know, ultimately give the nuances because that's what everybody gets frustrated with, right, Samantha?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's no reason to be overly frustrated, and I'll be here to help anybody afterwards. If you want to message me directly or find me in workplace, I will happily help you guys along.
Awesome.
So now I'm actually going to give you guys one of my biggest secrets, and it's later.com. And I highly, highly suggest that you guys use this one. So one of our biggest problems, myself included, is actually remembering to continuously post. You know, I'll start to do it and then it's like, oh, I'll get it later. I got to make dinner, or I got to take the dogs out, or I got to go show this house. I'll get it later. One of our biggest problems, right? So later.com allows you to take a time like on Sunday night or whatever, when you're sitting there catching up on what you have recorded on your DVR, you can sit there and schedule your posts for the week, for the month. And it's free, you guys. It doesn't cost you anything for your first social set. So let me show you how this works. Here is later.com. You sign up for it. Now, I've already helped Paul sign up for this, if he remembers.
Yes, but I'm trying to remember my email that I used and my password. So continue.
Okay, so when you log into later.com, it's actually really simple. You've got analytics that you can use. You can have one social set, so one Instagram, one Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Now, the TikTok algorithm, I haven't really messed with it too much, so I can't say 100% how that one's going to work with later.com, but they've just released the carousels for Instagram, which is a huge thing because a lot of us were complaining that we could not do the carousel posts. But let's show you how it works. You sign up for later.com, and this is where it will get a little bit confusing if you're not familiar with it. Once you log in, you're going to set up your first account, and it's usually Facebook will connect to it. Once you go there, you're going to go to settings when you're here in this calendar screen. Then you're going to go to social sets and access groups. Yes, Tessa, later.com is free, but they do have paid versions which will increase your accessibility to certain tools. Once you go to the social sets and access groups, you're going to click on the main group and you're going to click edit. From edit, you will add your social media groups. So this is where you're going to go through and you're going to take time. You're going to add in your Twitter, you're going to add in your Instagram and everything of that nature. When you're done with it, it's all about automation. You'll be able to schedule your calendar posts. You can upload your own media into the library. So say you have a house that you're getting ready to list or it's going live on Friday, which we know Paul does a lot. So he can schedule his posts for Friday to release images and the links for that particular home. Don't have your own media that you want to use, you can go to collect media, which also works in conjunction with unsplash.com, which will download the images and put it right into your media library. It makes it so easy, you guys, because you literally, it's just click and play. The TikTok does the video. They are working on releasing the video for the free versions, but I'm not sure how extensive that will be. Once you get into this, you've got the Learning Center that will show you all the different tools and things that you can do, as well as have access to your analytics. Once you go into the paid programming that they have. You can interact with your conversations in one location. So if somebody answers you on Instagram or responds on Instagram, you can comment back, things of that nature. Guys, I cannot stress to you how easy this is to really use when you get into it. I schedule out my posts for a month. Now, I don't have my April done because I wanted to have it open so you guys could see what it looks like as a new account. With each social media platform that you have, you've got 30 posts that you can put up every month for free. You
For
can
free.
for free. So that's one post a day. You're still going to be able to post on a regular basis. So if you're out and about and you got a really great video that you want to show, or you want to go live on your Instagram or your Facebook, you can still do that and it will not interfere. As the system learns you, and if you start to increase the social media connections that you have, the analytics will start to show you when your audience is best on. So if you are in Instagram and it turns out that Monday between 11 and 12 is the best time to post, it will start to tell you this. It's one post per social media account per day. So you'll get one post for Facebook, one for Instagram, one for Twitter. Each social media platform has 30 posts per month. You're very welcome. Guys, it is so easy to do. I promise you. But again, if you have complications with it, please reach out to me in Workplace. I will be happy to walk you through it.
What
This
was
is
that
one of the-
splash.com you were talking about? 'Cause
I'm sorry?
you said something about splash.com.
Unsplash. Yes, I'm getting right to that right now.
Oh, cool.
So as you can see, a lot of people want some free access to media content to use. You guys, I've got 3 great resources for you. Save these websites: Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay. These are great, great resources for any type of media. Pexels and Pixabay have free videos that you can use. So if you are working on content for your YouTube and you need some video clips to go in, maybe a realtor walking a couple through, or you want a family walking a dog down a park or something along that lines, whatever it is you think of, one of these sources will have it. You download it. The only thing that they ask is that you remember professional courtesy and give credit to the artist, which it's really not that big of a deal. You just remember, hey, photo credit to Paul May via pixels.com or whatever it may be. You guys, I cannot tell you how much I rely on these 3 websites personally. They are great, great resources. Now, obviously, I got to do the obvious branding. Excuse me 1 second here. I got to cough, you guys. Sorry about that.
The power of the mute. I was coughing my butt off before, so.
So you guys, branding is key for everything that we do, not only because of the fact that we are part of eXp, but because of the way Nevada is, we have to make sure that we are compliant with everything that we do. But when it comes down to it, you are your brand. You need to know your audience. You are not going to put up content that is for something completely out of your reach. You're not going to put up social media branding when you're trying to sell real estate. It's just not, you got to know who you're talking to. My biggest pet peeve is number 2, you guys. Examine your brand reputation. Tessa will tell you, I'm very, very adamant about this one. There's nothing wrong with having your personal opinions on anything. But if it is controversial, you want to avoid it from your branding for your business. Try to you don't want to alienate one half of your business because of a personal opinion. That's one of those things you just want to kind of let it fall by the wayside, make your money, and go on to the next client. I mean, it's that simple.
And I'll mount upon that, Samantha. There's actually standard operating procedures within the eXp manual and part of your ICA,
Exactly.
where ultimately, if you post certain things, you could be in jeopardy of not being part of eXp any longer. They take this very seriously.
And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having your personal opinions and having that, but just you want to shut that down from your business. Keep it clean, keep it straight down the middle. Now, I'm going to ask a couple of you guys a question. I want you to either answer out loud or type it in the chat. What makes you stand out? Paul, you want to talk this one out? What makes you stand out from me or from Beverly or George or Jasmine?
Personality.
Well, I like to pride myself on marketing homes better than anybody else. And we have some backup publications that have stated that the May team is in the top 100 social media real estate teams in the country. So, and then obviously I back that up with my success of selling properties for the highest possible price. So those are kind of my mantras as far as when I meet with clients. Is that what you're talking about, Samantha?
Kind of, sort of. But I'm also talking about what makes you stand out, but also makes you a expert in your area.
24 years of experience, over 1,500 homes sold. There hasn't been a transaction that I haven't seen. But
Okay,
then again, I lie
go with me here, Paul.
because ultimately I see new stuff as a broker every day.
Okay,
So
well, go
you
with
want
me
to have
here.
an agent that has seen it all and can overcome any obstacles.
So when you're not wearing your realtor and your broker hat, what is it that you are big about? What are you into? Racing? Are you into football? What is your hobby?
Oh, I love entertainment. I love music. I love live performance. I love musicals. I love movies.
So it's safe to say you probably have spent quite a bit of time at the Smith Center or at some of the shows on the Strip.
Absolutely. I've probably seen every show on the Las Vegas Strip up until
Okay.
COVID.
Okay, so why is that not on your Instagram?
You're right, Samantha. Why isn't it?
See, you guys, I kind of had to pull that from him to get to that point, but that is what makes him stand out. He knows those shows. He can feature those shows. Each one of you have something about you that makes you stand out. Okay, yeah, you're a foodie. That's great. So when you're showing a house, maybe feature a restaurant near that home that you think is amazing. You guys, you have golden opportunities to stand out, to make your presence so much different than the rest of us sitting here. And still, there's enough work for all of us. There's enough clients for all of us. It's got to be that mix, you guys, of your personality, what makes you stand out, and business. If you're just doing all business, all business, all business, people are just going to kind of go away from you and they're going to pass your profile because there's no way for them to connect. So I know if Joe Smith comes into town and he's really into, shows and he's, just seen the latest show at the Smith Center, he comes across Paul's account because Paul hashtagged a show that he's seen at the Smith Center. Guess what? They're going to connect on that level. You got to think about branding at all times. It's all about that connection, that branding. And you want to cut out the unnecessary extras. It just goes without saying. You just
What
keep
is
content
considered to be
relevant.
an unnecessary extra, Samantha?
So on your business profile, you probably don't want to post a picture of you just walking the dog down the street unless you are a dog parent. And that, you know, the dogs are your life and you're all about rescues or things like that. You just want to keep it relevant to you, your brand on your business pages. And you want to keep it consistent. So 4 and 5 on that slide are pretty similar in what I'm getting at. You want to, again, you know, if you're into food, you want to show the food post, you want to show the houses. I'm going to use the foodie one again here because if you're in a house and it's got this amazing chef's kitchen, well, guess what? Now you as a foodie can talk about the different recipes that could be made in there. But you want to make sure that all of your posts are the same along that lines. You're consistently posting, you're consistent with your branding. You make sure you have your hashtags. I personally use the hashtag #SamSellsVegas and hashtag HomeseekerslasVegas and hashtag what's new in the 702. Those are my hashtags. Those are the ones that I use. So you can pretty much guarantee on my post, those are what you're going to see. Now the rest.
Samantha, you were saying I'm missing hashtags. Do I need to have the hashtags in every single post?
Yes.
Do I need to have them in somewhere in my profile or
In
both?
your posts.
In every single post.
In your posts. So I believe yours is the May Team hashtag, correct, Paul?
May Team Las Vegas or May Team Realty. Both.
Okay, so those should automatically be the first hashtags you post in every post. Then you're going to want to find what's trending, which is a simple Google search, you guys. Just see what hashtags are trending for this week or this month. If you're using Instagram, hashtags are best, yes. In the comment section. Sometimes, Kira, though, I have used it both ways in the comment section and in the post. I get better response and reactions in the posts than I do in the comment sections, but I will mix it up and put it both ways. Jordan, honestly, it's just a Google search. There is also another great app here. Let me pull it up.
I did it right here on the right hand screen. I best Vegas hashtags and it gave you tons of them right there.
Yeah, there's what is there's also an app that you can download called Hashtag Expert. That will also help you as well. All right, you guys, I don't want to hold up too much more. I know Paul's probably got some more stuff, and I'm sure you guys got some more questions, but I thank you for having me here today. I'm like so excited that you guys all came and y'all.
Yeah, you know what, Samantha? I love having special guests because 46, 50 people is typically a large number in this room. And your knowledge and what you're sharing with this group, I'm sure speaks to everyone. Give her a big thumbs up. And you guys can obviously click your own little profile and give her a big old clap as well. I'm going to give her a clap too. Come on, come on. Let's hear a group clap.
I am by far not an expert in this. These are tips and things that I've learned, tips and things that I've tried and I know work. You guys, is there any more questions before I step off the stage here?
Was your website easy to make or challenging? I just checked it out.
So my website, I did it through WordPress and I used Elementor and it was challenging. Some of the elements were first time ever used, so there was a learning curve there, but I knew what I wanted and I knew what the end result was going to be. I just had to get there. It does take a little bit of time if you don't know it. I actually
Very
do
cool.
everything myself.
Splash and 3. What were those websites again?
Here, I'll go back to that slide for you so you guys can copy
And Yeah, I have them on the screen here, you guys. So I'll just pop them into the public chat. First, we had later.com.
Yes.
And that's an easy one to remember. Later.com. Pop that into the screen. www.later.com. Next, we had, as far as free stock photos, pexels.com. Control C. I'm going to pop that into the public chat. Then we had unsplash.com. Give that a little copy right there and pop it over here for everybody. Control V. And finally, well, there were a number of other ones. We had pixabay.com. Which is your favorite, Samantha?
My go-to is usually Pexels or Unsplash.
Mm-hmm.
Pexels basically because it's the easiest one to remember. But any one of them have really, really great content. I'm not going to lie.
Here's hashtag expert. Control C, popping that in. And did you guys know you can transcript copy our public chat? Did you know that? Basically, all you have to do is take your mouse, put it into the public chat area in a dark space, and then right click. And up in the top of your screen of your computer, it'll say transcript copied. And then you can pop all of these into a Word doc or an Excel spreadsheet. And you'll have all the links if you haven't been, popping along. I have two screens, so I'm able to bounce back and forth. I'm sharing my one screen with you guys, and I'm looking at our eXp world on my other screen, which is probably the best way to do it. But if you don't have two screens, then you can right click and transcript copy and copy everything into a Word doc that you'll have as far as that. And hey, Samantha, we'd love to have your PowerPoint presentation if you have that to pop into the public chat.
Actually, it's already sent to Kira because she had to load it for me today. The system would not let me load it. So
Oh, I love that about Kira, that she's so helpful with all of that kind of stuff. And you know what, you guys? We didn't even get into the SEO part that I was intrigued about, Samantha, because I
didn't.
have these landing pages and I don't have them SEO'd. And I would love to have, and you know what we can do is, besides having our social media lead gen class, which is typically 50 minutes because we're going to take a little break at 9:50 to let everybody go get a cup of a coffee and go to the restroom and stop the dog from snoring next to me. We're going to get started with the broker state meeting, which is going to have a lot of great content. We're going to be talking about teams and team integration specialists. On the backside of eXp, we have corporate team integration specialists that are going to share information with you, because I know that each and every one of you want to potentially, part of the reason you joined eXp was to not only sell homes to buyers and sellers, but also to create a retirement future. And part of that is agent attraction. Why not participate in it? And this class that we're going to have in our broker state meeting is going to be about how to approach, it might be a little daunting task. You might be nervous about approaching a large team, a small team, an independent brokerage, a large brokerage. All of them have come to eXp. We're now over 77,000 agents. And so we're going to be having discussions with the team integration specialists about their process of bringing teams aboard. So that's going to be really cool. But stay tuned for that at 10 o'clock. And Samantha, I think that we should do another class because, hey, you say it's 101, but to a lot of people in the room, including me, obviously, it's not 101. It's like high level stuff because there's all kinds of social media things that you can share, and we all gain knowledge from it. So I really appreciate you joining us.
Well, I am so honored that you guys asked me here today. And Paul, I'm here whenever you need me to be. So yes,
Awesome.
definitely put something else together for the future. Maybe we'll build up to the SEO maybe for the future, because SEO can get very, very confusing, you guys. So maybe next time we can work on one of the other social media platforms to get you a little bit more familiar with those as well.
Yeah, maybe what we can do in the future is we can break it down to each social media aspect, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and break down the nuances of each social media program and how to best utilize each and every one of them. We can make this a 2-month class, Samantha.
That would be amazing. I think I'd
Absolutely.
be down for that.
Are you down for that? I'm down to have you.
Yes, there was a quick question I want to answer really fast, Cynthia.
Go ahead.
Yes, later.com will allow you to post. Hold on, the screen keeps moving on me here. Hang on. Will allow you to post to all social medias. Yes, so any one of your social media sets. So each set contains one Facebook, one Instagram, one Twitter, one Pinterest, and one TikTok, and LinkedIn, I think. So each one you can post daily to through later.com. And the great thing is you can actually schedule it, guys, and I didn't cover this. You can schedule it so that it will, one post is all you have to type out, and you can tell it to share to all different outlets.
Awesome. Well, hey, everybody, let's thank Samantha one more time. We're going to go ahead and take a 9-minute break, and we're going to get started with the broker state meeting at 10 o'clock. Everybody get your dancing shoes on, over there on the right-hand side. Oh, are the dances over there? I'll pop in the screen, my little dance cheat sheet for everybody. Let's show Spencer and Jen when they come into the room that we're a party crowd. Samantha, thank you so much, everybody. We're glad you joined us, and we look forward to having you next week. I'm going to have to talk to Kira to find out if I'm going to be in a corporate meeting next week. It might be Beth Ellen or maybe another special guest speaker, but we always want to have some content for you on Tuesday starting at 9 o'clock, and this was great. Thanks so much for joining us, Samantha.
Anytime, Paul. You just let me know the schedule.
All right. Have a great one, everybody.